Today's video is about how narcissists handle health crises. When your average person experiences something that can be drastically life-altering or even life-ending, they're shaken up badly by the entire experience. Average person may use this ordeal as motivation to make positive changes in their lives, like working less hours or spending more time with their loved ones. They look at life much differently. They become more appreciative of people when they tell them how much they're appreciated as well. This doesn't happen with narcissists. A narcissist diagnosed with a deadly disease, for example, may complain a lot about it. They feel sorry for themselves a great deal, and they look to pity from other people. A narcissist who survived a potentially deadly accident or a terrible health scare often fails to see that they were blessed to survive this, and they have a second chance at life. Instead, they act like they're just too good to have died on that day, that sort of attitude. In an elderly narcissist who's getting frailer, the entitlement attitude becomes even more obvious than ever. Elderly narcissists often expect their spouse and adult children to care for them 24/7, even doing things that the narcissists are still able to do. They use their failing health as an excuse to get out of doing things and also as a way to manipulate their families. Some have been known to take too many or too few medications to make themselves sick in order to gain attention. In situations like these, narcissists may feel similar fear and terror everyone would feel in this situation. The only difference is they don't admit to these feelings. Instead, their sense of entitlement comes into play. They feel entitled to have their families, neighbors, doctors, everyone surround them at all times to take good care of them. And if the narcissist in question recovers from the serious illness or survives that potentially deadly accident, don't count on him or her changing. Narcissists don't process things as healthy people do, as we all know. They won't be inspired to make good, positive, and healthy changes in their lives. In fact, some narcissists seem disappointed that their health problem has improved, and that means they're no longer going to be the center of attention. Witnessing such behaviors can really be shocking. It's just impossible for a normal, functional person to grasp fully narcissistic behaviors. They're so drastically opposed to functional behaviors, it's often impossible for a non-narcissist to wrap their minds around such things. Excuse me. If you feel this way upon witnessing a narcissist act in their totally dysfunctional way after a health crisis, you're certainly not alone. My mother had heart surgery twice in her life. The first time she seemed to have changed, but it really didn't last very long. She was back to her overt narcissistic ways in no time. The second time there wasn't really any change, not even for a day. Witnessing both times was very difficult for me because it just made no sense. Having my own brush with death in 2015, it became even more mind-boggling to me. While I often suggest trying to understand what makes a narcissist tick as one way to help victims protect themselves from accepting blame for the problems with the relationship with the narcissist and predicting what the narcissist will do in this area, this time I say give up. There is just no understanding this bizarre behavior. Chalk it up to one more extremely dysfunctional ways of thinking on a narcissist's part. Lastly, if you experience some sort of health scare, bad medical diagnosis, or close call of some sort, I really don't recommend telling the narcissist in your life if you can help it at all. The vast amount of concern the narcissist has for herself will not be shown to you. If the narcissist has experienced the same thing or knows someone who has, she will invalidate you. That person had it worse. You need to suck it up, or you just need to take a pill and you'll be fine. This sort of thing is why I never told my parents about my brush with death. When in such a situation, you don't need their toxicity. You need compassion and gentleness, which are things narcissists lack. Thank you for watching my video.